hang out. Today, it'll be 45, 15, 45 on, 15 off. We have 21 stations ahead of us. So about 42 minutes of total workout, then a bit of stretching. What do we need? Some weights, some sliders if you have them. Aside from that, that's it. No benches. If you have TRX, you don't need it today. Just some weights, some sliders, and an ab mat. Once we're ready to go, I'll kind of lead you through the rest interval. But number one will be wide mountain climbers. So I've got discs under my feet. My goal is to pull my knee out wide, get a nice oblique crunch, nice oblique crunch. This is about the cadence we're looking for, right? Not any faster. And if I give you a standing demo, my hip should come toward my shoulder, right? So a nice big side crunch. Less about the tempo, less about the quads, more about the obliques. I'm gonna press play. It'll give us a 10-second countdown. And then we're 45, 15 here. 5 seconds out, feet on discs if you have them, hands down. Good, and again, nice soft tempo, real easy. Pull that knee wide, drive the shoulder down, drive the hip up. Maybe one rep every 3 seconds or so. When the feet are back behind the body, you can take a pause there, right? Prep the core, drive the knee, squeeze the oblique down. But it is as much of a side crunch as it is a mountain climber. 20 seconds to go. As we fatigue, check the hip position. Make your hips stay in line with shoulders and ankles. 10 seconds. Couple reps here. 3, 2. No 50-50 today. Strange. Haven't done 45-15 in a long time. We need to go 50-50 chaos. It'll be a nice, easy day today. Back on, guys. Back up, same thing. Again, focus on that nice big side crunch, right? Activate the oblique. Squeeze the shoulder, hip side by side. After our wide mountain climbers, we're going to be on our feet, one dumbbell in hand. It's going to be a lateral lunge with a single arm reach. I'll demo when we get there. 20 seconds to go. Shift the weight around a little bit here as we fatigue. More on the hands or more on the feet, depending on where you feel strong still. 10. 5. Good, little air. Have a go liar with the feet if you have options. But the movement, a single leg, we're going to lateral lunge with a reach. Stand tall, overhead press. We'll stay on one leg for duration. So my right arm's carrying my load. I'm reaching out to the left side of my body. Standing tall, tucking the knee, overhead pressing. If I have the stability, I don't touch my left foot down at any point other than out away from the body. I'm sitting back as I land on that foot. Both toes should stay pointed forward. And I'm being mindful that it is indeed a lateral lunge, right? Not forward, not back, straight to the side. Draw a line, have a seat, reach the body. 3. Little air, 15 seconds off, same thing on the side. 5 seconds. Left arm's loaded, right leg's gonna travel. 2. Nice big sit, nice big reach, stand tall, tuck that knee, overhead press. You're trying to drive through that outside foot, the leg in motion. Press through that foot to get yourself up. If you're having a time getting all the way up without putting the foot down to stabilize, drive a little harder. Do that outside leg. Next station, not so bad. Static dead bug. 15 seconds here still. Couple good reps. Check the toes. They're pointed forward. Sit off the side. Nice stretch through the long leg. 8. Static dead bug next. 5. Yeah, wait it down. have an ab mat, get on it. Low back's gonna be tight to the floor. Kind of work that posterior tilt in the pelvis. 2, everything up. We talked about it, but shoulders hopefully up in the air, right? If we think shoulder blades, drive the rib cage down, shoulders up. If our neck is kind of fatigued already, we can always hands behind the head. The goal here is to extend the body out as far as you can, leaving the low back down. Think about rolling the hips through, right? Smash that back down, pull the shoulders off the ground, and then take that reach. 15 seconds. Test yourself the last 10. Let the legs fall a little bit. See if you still have control out there in space. 2. Little air. As you rest here, you can feel the low back come off the ground, right? If your legs are down. So as we get back into this static dead bug, think about rolling the hip through, smash that low back down in preparation. Find it nice and tight. Legs off the ground. And take those shoulders up in the air, so minimal scap are on the ground, right? Shoulders almost all the way up. After static dead bug, we're going to roll into an eccentric push-up. 25 seconds here. We're focused on a nice slow drop. If we can go eccentric from our toes, fantastic. We can kneel to get back up. 15 seconds. 5. Good, little air. You know you need your knees, set your ab mat up. We're gonna put the brakes on the way down though. 5 to 8 seconds, nice and slow, all the way down. If we can go from our toes, great. And again, maybe our knees on the way up. Stack the shoulders down, tuck the chin back, put the brakes on. Try to keep the core engaged here. If you do touch the floor, try not to lay on it. When you come back up, it can be brisk. You don't have to go slow on the way up. It's simply slow down, lots of brakes, tap the floor, work back up. Shoulders down, work on the breathing. 15 seconds. Try to figure out how to use your body to slow itself down. 5. So there. We'll find that the top end of that range of motion is easy, right? It's easy to slow this part down. It's much, much harder to slow this portion down. So if you feel good, put the brakes on later in the rep. Move kind of quickly through the first part, right? And once we're down toward the floor, then really slow down. So focus on the bottom end of the push-up. Quick touch on the floor. Knees if we need to, right back up. After eccentric push-ups, we're going to go into a static single leg RDL with a single arm row. Light to medium weight, depending on how your back is. 15 seconds out. I'll demo when we get there. I'd say at most one last rep here, 10 seconds out. Two. Good. Medium-ish weight, light to medium. If I go right arm for a weight, my right leg's going to go back into a single leg RDL. From that position then, I'm going to hold static and do rows. If my back starts to bug me, I can always put that foot down. I can always support through the front arm. But a static single leg RDL with a single arm row. Right arm has the weight, right leg's back. My left knee stays crimped lightly. Weight in the left heel. Right heel is pushed up and away. Should have a pretty long lever from the heel of my right foot all the way through my head. Doing my best to stabilize the body. 10 seconds out. If the weight's heavy, keep it slow. If it's light, you can always set the tempo quick. Little air. Switch arms, switch legs. Dance between. Just me. 2. Left heel nice and high, right? Tip the body forward. Use that left arm to pull. Right arm might reach out off the body a bit for some stability. After single leg, single arm here, we're going to go side plank hip drops. A normal side plank position, hips up and down. 15 seconds out. Your back's fatigued, stand tall, shake it up, drop back down when you're ready. 8, 5. Good, let's go side plank hip drop. Very similar to the wide mount climb where we're focused on the oblique pinch. Right, so we'll drive the hips up. Once we're in position, take a pause. Shoot for height, take a pause up there, pinch the rib cage down, hip up toward the rib cage. Nice long pause, slow drop, and then work on the height. You might not find that oblique immediately. Down in the hole, push the hips, push the hips, right? Lat down or lat is tight, find the oblique. 20 seconds out. If we need to, that bottom knee can always come down onto the ab mat for a regression. More of that rehab side plank. 10. Take your time. Nice pause at the top. 2. Yeah. When I come down toward the floor, I'm trying not to lay on the floor, right? A little tap. Right back up. Similar to the push-up. Come down, light tap, if any tap. Press for height. Find the oblique with a nice pause. Drop down slow, kind of unravel that oblique. Press for height. The next exercise is a forward and reverse lunge on one leg. But we're going to carry some light weights. And on the reverse lunge, do a curl. So forward and reverse lunge, one leg where we kind of step forward, right leg, back right leg, but I want to add a curl on the reverse portion. 10 seconds. 2 lighter dumbbells. 5. Good, set your bells. So I'm going to do a forward lunge, right leg. When I step back for reverse lunge, I'll curl. Forward without anything, reverse with the curl. If you go body weight, same exercise, you're working on stability. Step over the hole, then down in the hole. We're simply adding weight if we can, and curling at the down portion of the reverse lunge. A little bit of tempo here does a lot, right? And then also the knee depth is important. Lunging down, taking my knee perhaps all the way to the floor. 5 seconds. Little air, we'll switch legs. Morning, Lakshmi. Yeah. 5. Oh, no, not again. One day the puppy got off the leash and it was a baby. She was chasing it. I was running through the intersection. And it was a busier day. There were buses, cars turning. So I went out and got it. She's eternally grateful. After lunges, guys, in 15 seconds, hand release push-ups. Chest to floor, hands up, hands down. 8 seconds. 2. Good, Good, bells away. In the hand release push-up, I don't need to clear that much height, right, between my hands and the floor. If knees are appropriate, great. Chest down, hands up, hands back to the floor. If I try to get too much height off the ground, I probably feel a lot of traps. The top of my shoulders, maybe increases kind of stress in the neck. So be mindful, you don't have to release that far. And think also about keeping some core tension. So while I am hand releasing, unloading chest and triceps, my core stays tight. 10 seconds. Two. So at the bottom, on the hand release, think about engaging the core a little bit. Keep the ribcage down. 5. Same thing, chest to floor. Hands up, hands down. Our next station will need sliders. We're going to go an eccentric hamstring curl, which is kind of hamstring runner-ish. But both legs out same time, both legs back in same time. It bums your back. Don't commit so much to it. The hips can be down on the curl. We'll talk about a little bit of tempo here. 10 seconds out. Then distance quickly. Good, find your discs. Put your heels on top of discs. On your back. From this position, right? Hips up in the air. You're going to slowly let both legs travel away from the hips. So hips up, really slow reach. Maybe 5 to 8 seconds, trying to get fully extended. Once I'm fully extended, if I can, I'll keep my butt up in the air. Draw the disc back in. Re-engage the hips. Find a nice tight glute bridge. Slowly on the way back out again. Nice slow release. If I need some help, I'll drive the elbow down into the ground. If I know it's in above my back where it's starting to, as I curl back in, I can set my butt down here. Right? Still be aggressive in the hamstrings, the curl. Then get back to the glute bridge. 5 seconds. A little there. Also, if you find it irritating your back and you're working on a high glute bridge, keep some core tension in the glute bridge. A lot of us search for height in the glute bridge and end up extending in the back, opening the rib cage. So in that glute bridge, still tighten the stomach. Let those feet swing out. The hard work is on the extension, right? All the way out, just like the push-up. The first portion is not bad, so if you're looking for more effort, rush to the first portion, slow down that second half, keeping the hips up as long as you can. After eccentric hamstring curl, lunge-based pulse. There's no jump today. It's going to stay in a lunge base, up and down, up and down. 10 seconds here. 5. Good, kick the discs aside. We won't use them for a little while. If my right leg's forward, my left leg's back. Obviously, it would be hard to have both legs forward, right? 3. Here's my lunge base. All I got to do is sit down, hold lunge right here, up and down. My torso is leaning over my front leg a little bit, right? That should give me the opportunity to use more glute and hamstring on that front leg. I'll probably feel some of my VMO, that medial quad there working as well. But if I stay down, lean the body forward, I should be able to rely on both quad and glute hamstring. 15 seconds here. Nice deep breath. 10. Hard work, but breathing's okay. We can breathe freely. 3, 2, Good, stand tall. We'll switch legs here in a second. Thanks for joining us.
I feel good after this.
Oh, me too.
I know what I was thinking.
3. Up and down, up and down. Same idea, chest over the leg a bit. After lunge-based pulse, no jump. We're going to go plank with hip rotation. So forearms down. Hips maybe like 2 inches higher than normal, right? And take the hips up over the top, up over the top. Nice big rotation. If you did your dominant leg on the first one, which I did, the second set feels pretty awful. Try to stay engaged. Focus on what you're doing here. 10 seconds out. Still breathing somewhat freely. Focus on some positives. 3, 2. Good. In a plank position, hip rotation. Forearms down, ankles tight together. As mentioned, hips are a bit higher than usual. My forearms stay pressed down as I take some rotation. Part of what I'm thinking about is as my hips come left, my right forearm stays down. As my hips come to the right, I'm focused on my left forearm. So focus on keeping the forearm smashed down, both of them. But also focus on the opposing side. 20 seconds out. You should have ankles smashed together, rolling side to side. 10 seconds out. Good, little air. Nice, this light out and almost sunny. We had a lot of hail yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Probably a half inch of hail. This came down hard. Same thing, you didn't get any?
Nothing.
Oh, it's crazy. Good. As I reach the hips down, I think about almost disconnecting the rib cage from the hips, right? Allow that oblique to open up a little bit. Lift hips sag. Then oblique back on to lift the hips. After plank with hip rotation, we're going to go into a push-up with a shoulder grab. So hit a push-up. At the top of the push-up when we finish, reach across the body, grab the opposing shoulder. 5. It's written as a grab, not a touch, because we want to prolong that. So push, grab, set the hips in position, right? Don't rotate. Back down, one press, other side, have a grab. Toes if you can. If you're on your toes or your knees, you'll find it helpful to be a little wider in your base. Come across the body. The best part about a longer grab is it reduces the amount of push-ups we have to do. So if you hate push-ups, work on more of the anterior rotation. Nice pause, nice grab. Check with the shoulders, hips, ankles, everything stays in alignment. 15 seconds. Take your time, maybe 2 more push-ups. 5. We'll have a tendency as the right arm comes off the ground to lift the right hip up, right? So as I reach the right arm, my hip's going to want to come up. So when I think about left arm off the ground, I rotate that left hip down into the hold. Right, so almost counter twist a little bit. You're likely not going to actually rotate at all, but it should help you keep the hip stable by thinking about almost counter twisting down into the hole. After push-up shoulder grab, we're going to go on our back for a glute bridge march. Give the shoulders a little break here. 15 seconds. Take your time. Maybe 2 left if you got a nice long pause. 5. Good, grab mat. We're in a glute bridge position. From the glute bridge, take 1 foot up at a time. Doing our best to stabilize the hips. Like that eccentric hamstring curl. My core is still engaged. 1 leg off the ground. I keep my knee at 90 degrees. I don't have to extend the leg. Not necessarily about the height. Sure, the height in the glute bridge, but I don't need to shoot that knee up for a lot of height. If I feel stable, my arms can come off the ground, right? And stability, what I'm referring to, the hips aren't rotating side to side. So if my hips are pretty motionless, hands off the ground, great. 10 seconds out. 5. Good. If I felt like I mastered that set, all we got to do is widen our feet about 2 inches. Same arm position, same hip position. Feet just slightly wider. That'll increase the effort quite a bit. So go from a wider base. Before you pull that foot off the ground, try to anticipate the load, right? Start shifting some weight. See if you can control the hips as the leg comes up. If you need to set the elbows back down, do so. After glute bridge bar, you're going to roll into a plank position. Rolling back over, it's an active plank. I'll demo on the rest period. Hips will go up in the air, we'll breathe in. 10 seconds, slowly drawing our hips to the floor. 8. 2. Good, so from my plank position, right, on a nice big inhale. Hips up, as I come down, I'll exhale, I'll roll my hips through, right? Drag my forearms down lightly. So I'm finishing in a standard plank position. Hips up, nice big breath in. As I slowly lower the hips down, I'm going to start to draw the forearms down. A little body shake at the bottom means we're putting in good work. Big inhale at the top. Roll the hips through, set the elbows down toward the toes. Create some traction there. 20 seconds. Trying to be mindful that my hips don't sag lower than a normal plank. The normal plank position is my end goal. Right? No lower in the hips than that. 5 seconds. You don't feel as much as you want to, right? It's forearms down, hips through, and exhale. Big breath in, right? Stretch the body as I come down. Take that slow exhale as I build tension. So as I get into the crunch position, kind of a nice slow exhale to relax the effort. So big breath in, kind of consistent crack in the valve right here, right? So nice easy exhale. As I'm exhaling, drawing the elbows down, squeezing the glutes, pulling the rib cage down, creating traction. Big breath in, same thing, roll the hips through. Easy exhale, draw the elbows down. After this, we're going to lay on our stomachs. We're going to go into an alternating Superman, 10 seconds. 2. Good, let's lay flat, guys. I've been doing this to focus on the dead bug. Think about drawing the rib cage down. We sit in a heavy plank position, right? Think about keeping the core active as we reach opposites. So I'm going to tuck my rib cage down. I'm going to roll my hips forward a little bit, right? And then from that position, I'm going to use the glute to lift the leg, use the shoulder to lift the arm. A lot of times we get into this big low back extended position, right? So we're focused on height here. So I'm focused on height, core tight, use the glute, lift the leg. Then a nice long pause. Right, as the pause continues, see if you can't build more and more core and glute tension there. 5. It's likely going to reduce your height considerably, right? But it's then not at the cost of a low back extension. Glute is activating the same, right? Shoulders still moving the same. It's just we're not opening the rib cage to get there. Should be much safer in the back, so abs tight. Take your reach, squeeze your glute. Thumb likely to the ceiling here. Come back down, a little air, rib cage down, push that foot up and away. And that lift is quite slow and deliberate. It's not a dynamic lift in that heel. After Superman, we're going to go into full sit-ups. Lay on our back, legs mostly straight. If the sit-up's going to irritate your back, we can always do more of a crunch variation. 8 seconds. Good, roll to our backside. Again, legs mostly straight. The contact up overhead. When I come up, I'll tap my toes. I can use the arms, right, for a little bit of counter weight. Swing the arms, tap the toes, hands overhead, touch the floor, back up. As I reach overhead, if I open my rib cage up, my back leaves the floor, that's okay, as long as when I start this movement, my back is back down on the floor. If it bugs your back, touch your toes, don't do a full sit-up, right? Do a partial one, touch the knees, or just a crunch variation instead. But for those of us that feel good here with full range of motion, get into a rhythm, 8 seconds. 2. My heart rate stays pretty low the whole time. My heart rate has stayed down. Next stage is a little crazy though. You get one good run and then it'll come back down calm. Here we go. As you feel kind of more fluid here, take some of that arm swing out, right? Maybe you start with a heavy arm swing, and then as you get further into the set, you're figuring out maybe how to fire that core a little more, right? How to drive the back down, how to then pull the rib cage down. 20 seconds out. Next station. We're going to go burpee with or without a push-up. If you want to do a combination of such, you can. 8 seconds. 2. Good. Well, hands down, hop out, push up if you want. Hop in, hop up. You don't have to push up. You can every other rep push up or do no push ups. But a burpee, yeah? Hands down, push up if you want. Hop in, hop up. We've got 45 seconds to try to start with a cadence that's appropriate, something that's manageable. If you're not doing push-ups, be careful you don't hop out too far, right? A small hop out, so we don't lose the core at the cost of our hip sagging. 15 seconds. 2.
I haven't done burpee at least a year.
Huh?
I haven't done burpee at least a year.
2. We don't do them a lot. Here we go. Mostly because if I write it down, it means I have to do them also. After burpees, a little bit aggressive again. We're going to go marching plank. Going to be out of breath. 15 seconds. 5. or a lot out of breath. Marching plank, opposite arm, opposite leg, same time. Grab your forearms. Try to keep hips stable. Left, right, right, left. The longer pause you put in the air, right, the less movements you have to take. If you find yourself stuck, relax into active plank. Stay active. On the way back, press through the forearm. 8 seconds. On the way forward, drive through the toes. Press through the ankle. 2. Five seconds, same thing. Shoulders hip ankles all in a nice line. Take your time here, left, right, right, left. Imagine your favorite beverage on your back, right? As we go to move, don't let it fall off. Nice, slow, deliberate movements. After marching plank, we'll take a little bit of intensity off. Just a slow goblet squat. 15 seconds here. 10. 9. Good, some weight under chin. Don't feel like you have to go too heavy. 5 seconds. And it's slow, so I might not be able to sync my breathing. Don't have to necessarily pause at the bottom, but we're taking our time coming down, shifting the weight into heels. Knees maybe slide open a little bit. I maintain a full foot of contact, right? But perhaps most of the weight's on my 5th metatarsal, my pinky toe, and my heel. Big toes still stay connected, but most of the weight from the outsides of my feet and back on heels. 5 seconds. Good, little air. That weight was good, hang there. If you need more or less, adjust accordingly. 5 seconds out. Doing good. Last couple stations aren't bad. Nice and slow. Set your feet, focus on the knees. Knees maybe pushed out a little bit as we sit. Almost as if we're doing a band squat. Knees kind of out. Feel the weight shift. And find the glutes and hamstrings at the bottom of this drill. There's a certain range of motion that does not feel good in your back. Don't go that deep. All right, some of us get kind of a little cranky down there at the bottom. Don't get cranky. 15 seconds out. Next station, single leg, alternating curl. Light to medium weight. We'll stand on one leg. Good, adjust accordingly. You want an increased amount of stability, you can always stand on your ab mat. I'm going to stand on my right leg, right foot's on the ab mat. Alternating curl. If my weights are heavy, my cadence is slow. If the weights are pretty light, you're going to rock and roll. If you've got a bum hip flexor, you can always let that foot relax beside the body. That down knee still stays bent slightly. Nice little bicep squeeze at the top. Maybe a little tricep activation at the bottom, right? Little pinch in the triceps as we extend the arm. 15 seconds out. We'll switch legs in the second round. Good, 5. Almost done. We got another set of curls and a quad plank, and we're out here. Just some light stretching. 5 seconds. Switch legs. Again, knee up if we're comfortable with it, or the legs run in parallel if we need to. The weights did give you that nice deep burn you're looking for. Pick up the tempo. Last thing after this, just a quad plank. Little knee hover, little stretch. So we're almost done here. Little tricep squeeze bottom, bicep squeeze top. Rock and roll, 20 seconds. Core stays tight, right? Trying to stay out of that back. So draw the rib cage down. 10. Two. Good, from a shoulder, knee, and hip 90-degree position. It's gonna hold on. Knees are gonna hover off the ground. So share the weight, toes and hands however I can to get through it. Just a hover, just some nice deep breaths. Try to share the weight 50-50 to start here. If we need to rest, we're going to push the hips up into a pike position. Take a couple nice, easy breaths. Ten seconds. Two. Same thing coming up. Knees should be like a ½ inch off the ground, right? Keep it nice and tight. 5 seconds. 3. Good, nice, easy knee hover. Shoulders, hips, knees, everything 90 degrees. You can roll those hips forward and rib cage down if you want to, right? Find a little more core. You can always flex the lats. Get some more lat activation. I'm just trying to hold on, so I'm not focused on anything, but just keeping the knees up. 15 seconds. Go pike if we need to rest. 10 seconds out here. 3. Good, let's go right into pivot stretch. The clock's gonna lead us. We'll stay 45-15. One leg under body, right? If I lay on top of my right leg, my right heel is now in my left hip flexor. Sprawl it a little bit. Now trying to smash the heart rate back down. Nice big breaths. Nice long easy exhales. Try to figure out where you're kind of guarding here as far as tension or mobility. Try to shut that down. If you need to, sit tall, right? Take 2 or 3 breaths and drop back down in the same stretch. Long stretches today for 45 seconds. We got 15 seconds left. You'll have 15 seconds simply to switch legs. So if you want to stay here for an extra second, you're welcome to. Good. We'll switch legs. Opposite heel, opposite hip, right? If you're not flexible, you're on your hands. If you're somewhat average flexibility in your forearms, if you're quite flexible, lay the hands out overhead. Take your chest to the floor. And relax the body, try to sink into it a bit. After kneeling hip flexor, after this pigeon stretch, we are going to go kneeling hip flexor. So one knee down, we'll rotate the hips through. We can add some oblique if we want there. 15 seconds. Five. Good, my left knee is down, my right foot's forward. You need to double that ab mat, quadruple the ab mat, right? Hold it up. From a knee down position, roll the hips through. Right, core stays tight. I can load the hands on the front leg, creating a little more core tension I want to, but it's hips through, right, abs tight. If you doubled your ab mat, just be mindful that fabric on fabric or material on material can be slippery, right? If you double, just be mindful of that. Mostly here in the gym. I think yours is fine, Bethany. Talking to somebody specifically who's here. don't bust your butt. Core stays tight, right? Nice long stretch. Still 10 seconds. Nice long 15-second break between. Shake it out, get set up for the next side. Same thing, start with that easy kind of hip roll in position, 5 seconds out. And just slowly building tension through the core, through that downside glute. Maybe hands up front again, pressing down lightly. We'll finish with this stretch. We might want to add a little bit of core afterwards or a little chest stretch. "20 seconds. It's nice this light out. I like this. Yeah, it's like over 2 weeks time, it's changed a lot. I think there's still rain clouds overhead. It's just cleared to the east, so we get a little bit of the sunshine from the east, and then it's gonna rain on us all day. 2. Okay, guys, thank you. Again, maybe add a little chest in here, add a little core. Thanks, Bethany. Have a good morning, guys. Bye-bye.